Hello to everyone listening in. Welcome to episode 2 of our Dungeons & Dragons campaign, the Reimagining of Runeterra, a D&D 5e creation. My name is Paul Doughty, and I will be your forever DM for the foreseeable future. For those just turning in, I implore you to watch episode 1. That is the episode where we meet our characters for the first time and help a certain mystical mage escape from his prison. This campaign, will combine the lore of League of Legends with my love for D&D. So, without further ado, let's meet our adventurers. First off, we have Rowan.
Hello, I'm Rowan, and I'm playing Tiari, the human cleric.
Excellent. Next is Hutch.
Hello, I'm Hutch, and I'm playing Cynthia, the human fighter.
Wonderful. Next up is Connor.
Hello, I am Connor. I'll be your terribly accented Elena, the human storm sorceress.
Fantastic. And finally, we have Laura.
Hello, I'm Laura. I will be being Genevieve, the human ranger.
Wonderful. Now, in case anyone has forgotten where we left off last week, our adventurers have spent a mere 24 hours in Runeterra, and it has been quite a busy one at that. They were wrongfully arrested for practicing magic within Demacia, a crime punishable by death or a lifetime prison sentence. While they awaited trial, they met Silas, a fellow prisoner with a plan to escape and a task for our adventurers once they were free. The group all escaped through the prison sewers, where Silas revealed his grand scheme. Rowan, would you like to share exactly what Silas asked you to do?
Sure. So, after Silas helped us all escape, he suggested to us that we join him in a rebellion against Demacia because of all of the mages that are being wrongfully imprisoned for their magic.
That's right, and just as the day seemed over, as you were travelling to Noxus to get more people for your rebellion, you were all settling down to sleep, and something a little bit mystical happened. Laura, would you like to explain to the people listening what happened and who turned up?
We were visited by Bard and Zoe, the exceedingly annoying Zoe, who basically were very excited about the fact that apparently all of us have got some big destinies to fulfill, and we're part of some big events that are going to be happening in Runeterra. And along the way, we may become ascended and meet a dragon. As I put it, a doggo.
That's right. So it is now the next morning. The group are following the river east towards Noxus, as Silas suggested, and this is where we pick up the story. Ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing? What is your morning routine?
So, Tiari will be knelt by the side of the river. To everyone else, it probably looks like he's praying, but he's actually still trying to wipe the fish guts off of his face from being crit the morning before. DM, have we had a long rest since last night, as I probably could do with getting those hit points back?
You have. Anytime you sleep overnight, I will consider it a long rest.
Fabulous. And that would reset back to max HP.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Lovely.
Genevieve is just seeing to her elk knot and making sure that he is all sorted and making sure that the saddlebags are sufficiently packed back up, putting away the bedrolls and that sort of thing.
Elena will be just mostly while she's getting fully dressed, it'll be going through her pockets, making sure that she still has everything and everything's in its assigned place. You know, the usual wallet watch kind of approach of got this. It's all still there.
The trustworthy type, then.
Oh, totally.
I guess Cynthia will just be practicing her strikes with her sword, the equivalent of shadow boxing, but with the sword and shield.
Fair enough. So you all follow the river east, as Sally suggested. You do see, as the sun rises, the very tippity top of what you believe to be the Noxus central building in the far distance. But it's over quite a few mountains. It's not a short walk by any means, but it should take you no longer than a couple of hours at walking speed. And as far as I'm aware, you're just following the river. Are you guys going to talk to each other during this point, or are you just going to walk along in silence, thinking about the night's events?
Silence.
Tiari's going to pipe up and just, so last night we had some weird dudes come out of a portal, and I guess we're just following this river towards this building, huh?
Yes, I didn't like that Zoe. She was very, she had too much energy.
Simfria's going to nod.
Oh, I guess we're just doing this then.
As you get further and further up the river, you see a creature taking a drink from it. It is a lizard-like creature with a yellow belly, with large bat-like wings protruding from its neck area. Its eyes are wide as it sees you approaching. It stares at you in curiosity as its tongue is dangling from its mouth, with a slow drip, drip, drip remaining water, as if it's almost forgotten to bring its tongue back into its mouth. It has small green spikes running along the centre of its head, stopping where the neck would reach what you presume is a spine. You, Guinevere, do recognise this creature from your studies, and you recognise it to be a Dracolops. And if we all look over to Owlbear Romeo, our battle map simulator, you should be able to see it drinking out of the water.
Oh.
If you could all take a quick second to sort of arrange your icons so that you can form sort of a walking group.
I'd probably someone near the front.
We'll get back to the group.
I'm probably quite far back because I've got the elk with me, sort of walking along behind me type thing.
Okay, so we have Tiari and Guinevere at the back end, that's right, isn't it? Yep, along with Elena and Cynthia. Oh man, I wrote that name, I can't pronounce it. Cynthia, Butcher's character, leading the pack at the front. So, I'll ask, will you guys approach the creature? How are you going to handle it? At the moment, it's just staring at you. It's kind of tilting its head like, oh, you guys are new? Oh.
Oh, just touch her.
So
You're the better one knowing animals. You have your elk. Any ideas what to do with this? Do we avoid it?
So do I know, like, if it's dangerous or not dangerous and what we should do?
You recognise it as a Dracolops, but you do also recognise that it is incredibly rare to see one out in the wild. They are normally not on their own, and yet at the same time they're also not pack animals either.
Do I know if it's dangerous, though?
Roll a nature check.
14.
Okay, so you know that it is an incredibly sturdy animal, as well as incredibly loyal to its rider and its owner. But also, it seems to have a conflicting description because they're also incredible cowards as well. Without their rider, they tend to not be all that useful and often run away at the first sign of danger.
Okay. So, turning to answer Elena, but also rifling through the bag to quickly get my notebook out because these are very rare. Well, it's a Dracolops, and you really don't see those out in the wild, particularly. They're very, very rare. Hang on, just get... There you go, got the sketch pad there. So, I don't know, the literature's a bit mixed up on these, really, because on the one hand, they're sturdy, they can be loyal and powerful to a rider, but they're also, like, there's also stories that recommend that they are really wusses, if threatened and they haven't got anyone with them.
After this description, you hear a very faint shouting in the distance. Scout! Scout! Scout, you yellow belly! Where the bloody hell are you? And you see a very, very short, you presume man, come running up to the lizard creature. He is no taller than probably about 4 foot, maybe. You can see that he is dressed as a knight. He's got his full plate armor. He's waving around what you think looks like a spear, but it's blatantly a modified spear for someone of this size. And he's wearing a suspiciously tall helmet. It's almost as if he's conscious about his size and uses this helmet to overcompensate for that. Scout! Scout! Get back here, you yellow belly! What the bloody hell are you doing?
I'll turn back to Genevieve and go, well, it looks like we found the rider.
Indeed.
So, what you now know to be called Skull, the lizard Dracolops, looks at what you presume to be his owner, and points and shifts his head towards you four. And the man then turns to you as well and looks at you directly. You! What the bloody hell are you doing with my Dracolops?
Nothing. We literally just got here. We just found out that it isn't Dracolops, and then you came charging out.
Yeah,
Ooh.
this is my land you're stepping on. At arms, tell me where you're from.
Cynthia out of this is just going to ready her sword and shield.
Chiari's just going to kind of put his hand, gesture forwards with his hand, just be like, look, we're just travellers. We're just coming along this river. We just need to make passage past here. Didn't mean to step on your land. If you could perhaps just let us pass, we'll be on our way.
Past? Past? You think you can get past Claire the Cavalier, the Grand General of Noxus, the man with 1,000 names? Yeah! I'm gonna kill every last one of you!
Noxus, you say?
No,
Isn't that
aren't
where
we
we're going?
to Noxus?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on our way to Noxus right now.
1,000 names. Can you name them all?
Name what? I don't need to name all my names for you scallywaggers!
Can anyone remember the name of who we meant to be looking for?
Genevieve looks around,
Yeah.
like genuinely concerned, like I have no idea.
We have to go talk to Dark Will.
That was it. In Noxus, correct. Do you
Yeah.
know them? You said you are the Cavalier of Noxus. Do you happen to know this Dark One?
Lord Darkwill, he's the greatest lord that Noxus has seen for 1,000 years. Not since great Lord Mordekaiser has Noxus been so powerful.
Well, if you could point us in his direction, then we will be on our way and out of your hair. You have a lot of hair.
You think I'm just gonna let you pass me and invade Noxus? Not likely! I fought 1,000 Ionians! I can take the 4 of you!
Oh no, we're not invading. We're coming to visit, and we'd like to join in.
Join in the invasion? I knew you were a bunch of scoundrels.
No,
Join your side.
I was going to say, I think we want to invade other ways, not inwards. Maybe. I don't know. What did he say?
Well, I hate to advocate violence and insanity, but it's worked for me. Skull! Charge!
Oh boy.
This guy has a strange thing with 1,000.
There's only so many numbers in the world, and I can't think of more than one at a time, okay?
So you just have a random name generator up and you just keep going till you've got 1,000.
Yeah.
And then everyone thinks you're really smart, and then next session we go, what were those names again? You go, shit, I didn't write them down.
The annoying thing is, he has a lot of names, I just can't find the page that tells me them. But for now, we are going to roll initiative
Oh,
Yeah.
and have our first battle. Woo.
Dun, 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 dun.
just to check, because I'm new to Ranger Hood. Do I need to roll initiative twice for me and for the elk, or does the elk just follow me, so to speak?
So I believe currently, rules, like, depending on what you're doing, your elk will go on the same initiative as you, but it will go after you.
Yeah.
Lovely jubbly. Thank
I
you.
will double check that, but that's the way I think most sort of pets or
I will
summons
say
tend to
that
work.
is how we're going to do it at the very least.
Cool.
Because that's how.
'Cause it's nice and
Thanks,
simple.
Storm.
Yeah. Right, let's see how we can do this with our little
Huh.
tokens. So, for those listening in, we are, like I said, using Owlbear Radio, a fantastic TTRPG virtual tabletop that has everything I need and nothing of the stuff I don't need. So, did anybody roll higher? Let's say, did everyone roll between 20 and 16?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Connor, what did you roll?
19.
Hutch?
17.
Okay, did anybody roll between 10 and 15?
I got an 18.
Right, so when I said did anybody roll between 16 and 20,
Math.
and you
say
didn't
yes.
say anything,
Can I just
Say yeah.
can I just point something out? You actually got a 20 because it's 18 plus 2.
Dirty 20.
okay. Rowan, what did you get?
I got a 9.
You were going to be a while later, weren't you? Can everyone see the initiative order at the bottom? Right, time to see what Claire the Cavalier got. Okay, so roll a d20. You got 14. Go him, well done. Okay, right, we shall start then with Laura.
No, thank you.
What did you do for your first turn?
Seeing that he's hopped on his lizard, Jeremy would probably think, oh, I'm going to hop onto my elk, and so would swing up, which I think is an action, I think, in this case.
Since your elk is next to you, I'll count that as a bonus action.
I hadn't got weapon out at that point, so I then readied my crossbow,
Okay.
ready to fire.
Are you going to fire?
I don't really want to, because I don't want to start a fight if I can avoid a fight, so to speak.
That's fine. You can ready an action. So if Claire
Can
moves,
I ready it?
yeah,
So if he,
that will be your reaction. I believe that's how it works.
I'd like to
Yeah, hold
ready
your
my
reactions.
crossbow bolt, so that if he goes to attack someone, I will then shoot.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So you've readied your action. We are now on Connor.
Okay. I'm just going to sort of turn back over to Jenny and go, you say it scares easily. Okay.
Only when it's on its own!
Yeah, let's see if this will work. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, I'm currently about 50. For reference, I was 50 feet. I've
Yeah.
now moved 30 feet closer.
That's fine.
What I am going to do is I am going to hold the Thunder Wave spell at 2nd level. And that is when they are both within 15 feet of me. Kaboom.
Okay. Excellent. Right. So, what damage do you do for that?
Nothing at the moment.
Right.
When he comes in, I'll let you know because it will be
Oh.
a Constitution.
So
saving
it's like
throw for
a
him.
shield around you.
No, yeah. Basically, you would see just her sort of pulling in sort of air around her, almost like you see when you see wind starting to form like little wind tunnels. It's just pulling back together, and it was almost forming like 2 walls ready, and just holding them at the moment.
Okay. Are
Wait,
they visible
wait,
walls?
wait.
Can they be seen?
Yeah, it's just wind,
Okay.
but it's not an actual wall. That's just flavour.
Okay. And so, how far away are they from you? Like, what's the
They are
width?
currently 20. They are currently 20 foot. But when they are both within 15 feet of me, this will go on.
Excellent. Okay. Right. Let me know when that happens. So, Hutch, this is now on you. Everybody is just readying for whatever Claire may do. But what are you going to do?
Yes, stand here and ready the shield.
Right. So you are readying a block action. That is absolutely fine.
Yep.
It is now Cled's turn. He has seen all of these people doing random stuff and like getting ready for an epic showdown of battle, and he is excited. He's like, "Yeah, finally some good competition. These yellow bellies will soon see the end of my blade." And he charges forward, towards Hutch.
Okay, my spell will go off.
Okay.
So everybody in front of me. This includes.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So everybody needs to make a Constitution saving throw for me. The
Everybody.
DC is 13. I can roll damage because it's a half on a save kind of jobby.
I was going to say, is it half on the save?
Yes, it's half on a save.
Okay, well, let's see what this happens then.
And that is
13! And also, because I have Shield Master Evasion, if an
Yep.
effect allows half damage on success, you can use your reaction to take no damage.
okay. Yeah,
Very
that'd be a
nice.
fair shout because I just rolled quite well already.
Okay.
So, yeah, I take
Okay.
no damage then, because I got 13, which is the DC.
Now,
Yeah, DC is fine. Yep.
Cled's got a natural 20.
Okay,
Oh.
he's fine. Well, that's
Which is
fine.
quite good for him. That's nice.
Are him and Scar counted as the same thing, or are they separate?
They'll. Oh, actually, that's a very good point. Okay, so I'll count that one as Cled, but I'll do one for Scarlet separately.
Okay.
So he got that, but does he get any plus? I'm checking. Constitution save against a +2, so 12 for Skull.
12 is a fail.
Okay.
For just for reference, so Thunderwave does 3d8 worth of damage. I rolled 2 6s and 8, so that's 20 points of damage on a failed save. And any creature that failed gets pushed 10 feet directly away from me. And everybody who did save takes half damage, so Kled would take 10 points of thunder damage.
On
Skull
a nat
would
20,
take
I don't know
full
though. As you want to play it?
Yeah, unless obviously before resistance is accepted.
No, that's absolutely fine. Nat 20 is just the success there, but it's still just a success, isn't it? If the spell doesn't mention natural 20s, then I'm not going to include it.
Oh, also, by the way, everybody within 300 foot heard that.
That is
There's
loud.
only trees nearby. It's just because they just approach into that range, and I just slam these two walls of
I'm
wind
sorry,
together.
they move back 5 feet, was that right?
10 feet.
10
Skull
feet.
goes 10 foot backwards.
That's fine. He's hanging on still, since he did the same, he's hanging on to Skull. But around you, so Hutch took no damage, you use his shield to block against all of the wind power. But the waves that are above you right now, the river, is just in shatters. There's water all up the other side. The trench is basically empty. And yeah, behind you, these leaves and rocky areas just all pushed away. You can almost sort of see a crevice where there used to be, vegetation and bushes and a couple of insects on the ground. Nothing is there anymore. So Kled had he's used up all his movement, I believe. Let me just double check what Skull's movement is. Oh no, he has not. I'm apologising.
I was going to say, I'd imagine it'd be more than 30.
Yeah, so he's still going to be. So despite that pushback, he's like, oh, Skull especially is like, well, that was windy. I did not like that. And he's going to charge back at Hutch and roll for an attack. So Kled is going to use his spear and he's going to sort of try and jab it through the shield of Hutch.
At which point, I would loose my crossbow because he's going to attack my friend.
He is indeed. Okay, roll for your crossbow damage.
Only if I can find it. 25.
25 to hit or 25 damage?
Yeah, 25 to hit.
I mean, I'm not checking his armor, it's not that. So Claire
that'll hit those things.
sees the arrow coming towards you and lifts up Skull on his hind legs. And it's actually Skull that takes that hit for him. Taking it roughly to like his breast area, just aside his breast between that and his armpit. And how much damage does that do?
I believe it's an 8, because it's a 1d8 plus 2, so it's an 8.
So he rolled 6 plus
Yeah.
2, that's absolutely fine. I added the wrong number, there you go. Okay, that's fine. So Skull takes that much damage. Kled is still attacking with his spear, undeterred by the arrows flying at him. And I roll for 15.
My armor class is 15.
Beats it, I'm afraid. If you match the armor class, you do indeed beat it. And I do 1d10 piercing damage. So I will roll a d10. I almost got 1! I do 1 whole point of damage.
Nice. Take it.
I love it when that happens.
So,
Great big tap.
yeah, Kled
Yeah.
jabs his javelin in and just scrapes across the top of your shield. And the shield was enough just to lift it slightly. So instead of hitting directly at your neck or your collarbone and almost incapacitating you, you get what is effectively a very deep paper cut just across your shoulder, Hutch.
Fair enough.
It's like, ow.
Yeah, oh, that's going to sting in the morning. Okay, it is Rowan's turn. What do you do, sir?
Okay. In terms of range away from me right now, how far is Kled and Skull?
He is 45 feet away from you. Each one of those squares on the map is 5 feet.
Awesome. Right, I would like to cast a spell against him.
Okay, which spell are you going to cast, sir?
So I'm going to go for Guiding Bolt.
Okay, and how do you cast Guiding Bolt?
So Tiara is going to kind of grasp his holy symbol around his neck with one hand, hold his other hand forwards, and a flash of light streaks towards a creature of your choice within range. Make a ranged spell attack against a target, and on hill, the target takes 5d6. I'm going to do this as a second level spell.
I'm thinking Fred should have had more HP.
The next attack roll made against this target before the end of your next turn has advantage.
Yeah, personally, not as a guiding bolt.
Can I choose to aim at Skull or Cled, or are they both kind of
You can choose to aim at either one of them, yes.
I'm going to go for Skull.
Okay, aim to hit Skull then.
Oh, is it the +5 symbol? That'd be it.
We'll be that.
15.
That does hit. Oh, yes.
Do you want me to re-roll the damage because I rolled it first? Or are you good with the 21?
Yeah, that's fine. What was the damage?
21.
21 points of damage. Okay, so you aim this guiding bolt and it fires straight towards Skull. And he sort of stares at it, mesmerized by this brilliant white light. It's so shiny and pretty. And then it strikes him. And is it shocking damage? What type of damage is it?
It is, I think it's...
It is radiant?
Radiant, yeah.
Radiant or force?
We'll say,
Radiant.
Yeah, we'll say Radiant. And he's just so amazed and he gets pushed back again. Just a little bit. And he's tired of being pushed away and pushed around all the time between you guys and Cled. He's just having a bad time. And so he immediately lifts up on his hind legs, knocks Cled backwards. And now that he is free, he hightails it out of here and runs right through the bushes and is just gone.
Cowards!
With Cled being knocked backwards, is he now prone or?
Yes. Let's give him an acrobatic check to find out if he is prone. He rolled a 12 plus, I think, plus a 2. So I'm going to say 14 is not prone.
He's clearly used to this kind of thing happening.
Yeah.
There we go then.
This is not the first time he's been abandoned.
It's not his first rodeo.
Yeah. Skull! Skull, you yelly belly goddamn creature! Why, I knew I should have gone with the other Dracolaps! Bad! I'll kill him by myself!
This accent really is changing.
You guys are going to have to kill him quickly. My voice can't do this. Okay. Oh, breathe. Right.
Cled is from the south, what we established.
Cled is from everywhere, okay? Right. Laura, it is your go.
Oh, I'm just breathing for a second. Genevieve doesn't like having a fight, so she's going to shout to him, say, "Look, you creatures run away. Let's just stop this. Stop." See if he'll stop, or if he's not up for that.
Of course you realize this means war. I don't need nothing but this axe, and this gun, and this hat.
Okay, in which case, I'm going to do a bit of a brave, scary thing, and I will move on my elk a little bit further forward.
Okay.
So I'm kind of in line with Connor and Hutch. And I will once again notch another crossbow bolt. Game ready for if he starts an attack, because I really don't like having to fight things.
Okay.
I'll have to, but I don't like,
Elena, I'm guessing your proximity spell is a one-time thing.
Yes, it's just a one-off.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to go for.
Oh yeah, shit.
You're right.
Okay,
I'll make it clear if it's not going in effect, don't worry.
Is that your move, Guinevere?
That is my move over.
Okay, then we move
forward,
on
and I've readied an action.
And we moved on to Connor.
Okay. I am going to charge because he's now 35 feet away from me. I'm now going to move my full 30 feet. And as I'm rushing over to him, you see electricity charging up in my hand. And I'm just going to shout to him, go, "Look, we can stop and talk now, or we're going to continue fighting." And I want to see if he reacts.
So are you putting like your electricity charge handle in his face, or?
Not so much in his face, but I'm doing it as I'm coming. It's more of a It's less of a flat out intimidation. It's more of a this is going to happen unless we stop kind of thing.
You know, a long time ago, being crazy meant something. It's go time.
Okay, I'll take that as a no, and then reach out and try and touch him with Shocking Grasp.
Okay, tell me about Shocking Grasp.
So, it is a melee spell attack which I'll need to roll against him. But is he wearing metal armor?
Yes, I did say he was wearing iron armor, yes.
Okay, so I have advantage on the attack roll.
Excellent.
That is a 14 plus 5, so that is a 19 to hit him.
He has been hitted.
Cool. Oh god, that was awful. So it's only 2 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
However, he also cannot take reactions until the start of its next turn.
That's probably fine. Okay, excellent. 2 points of lightning damage. So you see that like your hand touches his iron armor, and you can see the waves of electricity going throughout his entire body, and he does a little spasm. Oh.
And as a bonus action,
Right.
I will use my tempestuous. No, sorry, that doesn't work because it's not that. It was a cantrip.
Excellent.
So what I will do is I will spend some sorcery points. Yep. So I'll spend 2 sorcery points to cast Thunder Wave. This time it will only hit him because obviously he's there again. I'm going to cast it at first level this time. So can he make a Constitution saving throw for me,
You
please?
could probably handle that. Yep. 1 second.
It is DC 13 again.
8. 8. I got 8.
That is a fail.
That is a fail. Thank you.
So he will take another 7 points of thunder damage and be pushed. Was it 10 foot? Did I say 10 foot
10
last
foot.
time?
You said 10 foot
15.
last time? That's,
Yeah, so yep, 10 foot, put 10 foot away from me again.
you guys
So I run up, like lightning in one hand, shock him with it, and then just slam my hands together and emit this once again slightly quieter, but not quite as much, but still just as
I feel Cled is going to start further back than when he did before he entered the scene, if I'm completely honest, guys.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, he is. But that's my turn. Yeah, that's everything.
Wonderful. Alrighty. Hutch, it is your go.
Oh, you moved him out of range.
Sorry, my bad.
I guess I will stand in front of the mage and just ready for a block it.
The mage is obsessed with being in melee combat with him.
Okay, so what are you going to do, Hutch?
I'm gonna move in between Cled and the mage and just give the mage a very, very disapproving look.
Okay.
I'm just going to sort of look at you and go, "What? Fine."
And yeah, that will be my turn because I don't have any ranged attacks.
Okay. That's fine. It is now Cled's turn. So Cled is going
He has his
to...
reaction back now, by the way.
Say again?
He has his reaction back now, by the way,
Oh,
because
okay,
he gets
cool.
back at the start of his turn.
Cled is going to move, because he's kind of tired of being pushed around anyway, so why not? To here. And he is going to take out his, it basically, I don't know what to call it. It looks like to you guys, it looks like a pea shooter. But in comparison to his size, it's effectively a shotgun. And it doesn't obviously shoot ammunition. It just looks like it shoots a bunch of arrows. And he is going to attack both Connor and Hutch at the same time. So he will roll 2 d20s to see if he hits either of you. So Connor, you first. He's rolled a
He probably hit.
17.
Yeah, that's a hit. That's a hit. She's not particularly hard to hit.
And Hutch, to hit you, he's rolled a 14.
Nope.
No!
Nope. I'm 15.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So Connor, you
Yeah.
take the full force of 1d10 divided by 2. Okay, 1 divided by 2, rounded up, is
What?
1 point of damage.
I'm loving these damage rolls. Man.
Cled, matey, come on.
Elena kind of looks at it, goes with that kind of. I'm a little bit worried about what he's meant to do, so I just sort of like shrink away slightly. Then it happens, and it's like I'm still stood there with my eyes shut, kind of clenched, like still waiting for something to happen. Is it over?
So yeah, he pulls out this effective shotgun, fires it at both of you, shoots it. Cynthia just casually lifts her shield, it's not very much of a bother. Like, oh, this is a bit annoying. Okay. And yeah, Elena, you look worried, man. Like, this is scary. It's got a shotgun. Wow. And then he misses wildly, and it's almost like, you know that scene in Pulp Fiction where the guy unloads his ammo, his gun onto
Only outline.
Yeah, and just misses every single one of them. It's basically that. Right, there we go.
So because he took an attack at my friends, I loosed my crossbow bolt that I had ready earlier.
Indeed, thank you for remembering that. I had forgotten. Please roll to attack.
Roll to hit. 10.
That is a miss.
Ah, shucks.
My apologies. But yes, no, you shoot wildly, and it sears over his head.
Moved!
He did move, yes. Right, okay. It is now Tiari's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna move up a little bit, as I'm a little bit far out of the fight. So what, 30 feet of movement speed. 6 squares, so I'm going to move 6 squares. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move up. And I'm going to cast another spell.
Okay, what spell are you going to cast?
So I'm going to go with Shield of Faith. So I'm going to kind of, again, Tiari kind of holds his holy symbol around his neck and kind of gestures his hand towards Elana. A shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus to AC for the duration.
Wonderful. Cled was not struggling to deal damage as it is, but great.
Gonna do it, just for the kindness.
Okay, and what creature are you putting that
spell
around?
is it?
I'm gonna put that onto Connor, Elana.
Yeah, so that's a +2 to my AC for now.
What's the range of that spell?
So that is 60 feet.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, you are currently 45 feet away from Connor, so that is okay.
Yeah.
Right, is that your turn?
Actually, I'm gonna try and call out to Cled.
I'm enjoying everyone making him talk. It's so good for me. Thank you.
Are you regretting giving him an accent now?
I am a little bit, yeah. But okay, what do you say to him?
The Tiari's gonna say to Cled, just kind of stop it. This is only gonna end badly for you. We just want to be on our way. Please just let us pass.
And he turns around and says, "You know what? I ain't never run away from any fight I ain't finished. Let's keep fighting, boys!"
I'm going to have to mute myself every time you talk now.
The last few times
Are we all having this moment? Are we all as a party? Is this where sort of like he says that, and then it just cuts to each individual shot of us as we're all looking at each other like, this guy's nuts. Like, he's just lost it.
Like Cled's just got blood dripping down his face, and just I can fight all day.
I see in my mind, I'm envisioning a bit like Monty Python, the Holy Grail,
yeah. Come back here, I'll bite your legs off. yeah, Cled, alright, go on.
Okay, so that's it. You are done shouting at him. He's ignored all of you now. And we go back to Laura, aka Genevieve.
So Genevieve is going to put up her elk properly this time, and the elk is going to do a quick sort of gallopiness straight towards her head. It's got a movement of 50, and that's only 40 away.
Yeah.
But with elk, if the elk moves at least 20 feet straight towards a target, and then hits it with a ram attack on the same turn, which it will do, the target takes an extra. It says extra 7, or in brackets 2d6 damage.
Okay, so you get to choose. Would you rather roll 2d6s or go for the neutral 7?
I might risk the 2d6s, but I need to work out how to do this because obviously I haven't got a page for him. Connor, if you have got it open, just to check I'm doing this right.
Yeah.
I've got the ram to ram it. It's +5 to hit, so.
So it's a d20 +5 initially.
Okay, so let's do that first. A 4, so it's a 9.
It does not hit, I'm afraid.
So does that mean so I haven't rammed? I will probably have then just continued to the full 50, which puts another 10 past him. I'll be angling it as a turn. We'll finish up.
Use your full movement if you don't want to.
I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay literally like on his face though.
That's probably fair.
So I've stepped away from him as far as I can. I think is that me, isn't it?
That is your action, yes.
So I've charged, and it did a ram as part of the charge. So yeah.
Okay, so you charge towards him, maximum speed on your elk. He sees it, his life flashes before his eyes, and just at the last moment, he does a little skip, a jump, and walks up your elk, never actually leaving his feet, and also over your head, kicks the elk in the bottom on the way down, and lands perfectly in the superhero pose that we all know and love.
My knees.
And then I believe it's not his turn; it's Connor's turn.
Yes. I'm like, oh, you don't like predictable. Let's introduce some, shall we say, chaos into this, and I'm going to gather up sort of a weird mixture of I say purple and juice, like a mixture of colours into a small thin bolt, and I'm just going to chuck it at him. Okay. So I need to make an attack roll. That is a 15 to hit.
That misses, I'm afraid.
Cool, okie dokie. So it's going to fight. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Like, well. And then I'll use my tempestuous magic for my bonus action, because mostly for coolness points.
Okay, just explain to me what that is again.
So, as a bonus action, I can cause gusts of air to surround me before or after I cast a spell of first level or higher. That allows me to fly up to 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. So, okay. I'm just basically going to float away 10 foot, and then go, I'll be right back, and then move like another 20 foot away from him.
Okay, that's
yeah, that's about right. But that's my turn.
Alrighty then, Hutch, it is your turn.
Sure, I'm gonna charge him.
Okay.
So, as a shield master, I can shove him, which makes him prone.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that as my bonus action.
Okay.
And then while he's on the floor, I'm going to try and... I'm going to take
you need to take the attack action first.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
If you take the attack action on your turn, then you can use your bonus action to do the shove.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and swing him then.
Okay, that's fine. Roll to attack.
That is 21.
That does hit.
And then it's going to do 6 piercing damage.
Very nice, okay.
And then, yeah, as my bonus action, I'm just going to hit him in the face with my shield so he's on the floor.
Is that what you're doing? So I believe when you shove someone, you can choose to make them prone or push them 5 feet away.
That prone.
Correct.
Lie down.
And it is an attempt to shove, so it is opposed checks.
But what is the check?
So for Hutch, it will be an athletics roll, because it is a strength-based thing. For Cled, it will be either acrobatics or athletics, his choice.
Let's go acrobatics.
So he just has to beat me, right?
Yes, yeah, it's just an opposed roll.
Okay, cool.
I got 18.
Well, I got 11, so he is knocked down.
Okay, so you go over and you go to stab him, and it hits fine. It cuts into his side, and he does wince. And as you use your other hand to try and smack him with your shield, he just sort of takes it on and just headbutts at it and takes 0 damage and just uses his helmet to completely ignore your attempts to shove him to the ground.
In response to that, I'm going to use Action Surge, which means I can take 1 additional action on my turn.
Okay.
I can use this 1 time per short rest.
Okay, do that then.
And I'm just going to stab him.
Okay, we're going to try and hit him again. That's fine. You pull out your sword and you go to swing him again. Roll to hit.
14.
That is a miss.
Yeah.
So he's learning. So you swing, you try and hit him with a shield, he headbutts it away, and you pull your blade out. He's ready now. He's super ready for another attack. You swing, and it just clips above his helmet. He doesn't even have to duck or move. But it is a swing and a miss, I'm afraid.
Well, that's all I can do, so that's the end of my turn.
That's fine, very well played. Okay, so it is now Cled's turn. He is once again going to get his shotgun out and fire at both Hutch and Laura. Okay, we will do Hutch first. It is a 4 to hit. Did that hit?
Definitely not.
No. Okay, well, a shot.
Long way off.
Laura, we are giving you a 6 to hit. Did that hit?
Wow.
I don't think so. Double check.
I'm gonna
where I'm
guess
looking.
probably not, if I'm completely honest.
I thought Cled was supposed to be a good fighter.
You'd think.
Yeah, so far he's done 1 point of damage.
He did 2 points of
2.
damage, actually.
One to you, one to me.
Oh, okay.
Do I
yes,
need to
yes,
just
alright.
check? Is
No.
is it a separate?
It's your
Right, just with
AC,
my
so just
elk.
check if your AC is higher than 6.
Yeah, that it is. I was checking for my
Fine.
elk though.
No, he was aiming
I'm
for you.
sat
He
on
was
an
aiming
elk.
for you.
6 wouldn't have hit anyway. So
No, I can't imagine it would.
I'm not even sure 6 would have hit a gelatinous.
Yeah, like there's a dung beetle
I hate
somewhere.
fighting them.
There's a dung beetle that maybe would have been struck down by that 6, but that is about it. Okay,
hard
but
work.
yeah, he pulls out his shotgun, aims at you both, gets distracted by the head injury that he's just sustained for the shield, and hits it way under both of you, and shoots a shotgun round into the sand. And that is his turn. Unfortunately, Rowan, this is your go.
I'm going to move again. Another 30. So, sorry, how many spaces was my max?
6
move?
squares for you.
I'm going to move that far, and then... Okay, I'm gonna shield Hutch
Okay.
this time. So shield of faith again. This time on Hutch.
Does your shield on Connor disappear?
Yes, it will drop.
Let's see. It lasts. How does it last? 10. So it says that it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yes, but does it have a C next to it for concentration?
It does.
Which means
So
you
you
can only catch
concentrate
one.
Once. So it would drop off me, but you could put it onto.
Yeah, I think I'll move it to Hutch now.
Okay, that's
I'm
absolutely.
not sure I need it, but thanks.
Try my best. Okay, I'm just a little mage. I can't do very much.
You might want to cast that on the sand. I think you might hit it.
You guys are mean.
Hey, my guiding bolt did a lot of damage. It may have made Scar run away.
Okay, is that your move?
Plus being on move, so now Hutch has +2 bonus to AC.
There you go, Hutch. That is all yours. Now we have Laura.
I'm once again going to implore him to just stop, please.
He has
No
got
need for this to
blood
happen.
trickling out of his ears and is deaf to your pleas.
Cool. Okay. In that case, I'm going to give the elk a proper good "let's go" pat, at which the elk will hopefully, if it does correctly, sort of go up onto its hind legs and then plunge down and nut him with a ram.
Okay.
Like when you see goats and elk doing that when they're proper going for it, they say like sort of psych themselves right up on their hind legs, like "let's go."
that typical manner of goats going, I'm going to have you. I'm going to have you.
Yeah, I'm gonna and actually roll the dice
Yeah, that would be
to
useful.
see if it actually hits this time. I've just rolled a second one by accident. Hang on. Let me get rid of all that.
Yeah, roll again.
Please don't be a crap roll, because that was a really decent roll. Please don't now be a crap one. You blighter.
So 3 misses wildly, and add
3 plus 5. 3 plus 5.
Okay, my apologies. 8 misses wildly.
Yeah, it does. Fudge.
And once again, Claire uses his head and headbutts the elk back, and neither of them take damage. It's like an immovable force meets an unstoppable object, and they just collide
Basically,
in the middle.
Like 2 elks headbutting each other.
Yes, effectively.
Just- Anybody ring a doorbell just now or something?
Right, Connor, this is your go.
Okie dokie. So Elena, from her safe distance, is just going to go, well, let's try that again, shall we? And throw another Chaos Bolt at him.
Okay.
So I need to really hit. We won't talk about the not quite a natural one, because
Oh.
I just rolled a natural 2.
Woo! Almost.
So I'm just firing pretty colours off into the sky.
Yeah, pretty much. You're like just creating rainbows and fireworks on the beach. It's very nice. It's very pretty. Everyone's looking up like, ooh. But nobody is taking damage, I'm afraid.
No.
Okay. Are we moving on to Hutch then?
Yep.
No surprise, I'm just going to stab him again.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Go for the stab.
Or at least attempt to. Oh, that's a 25, a natural 20.
A natural
Oh.
20! Okay. Just so I know, what are you stabbing him with? What do you have?
My short sword.
Okay, so the way I personally do natural 20s, ladies and gentlemen, is a roll of your hit dice plus the maximum that your hit dice could dish out. This evades any 2 hit points worth of critical damage and makes it a lot more rewarding for the players when they do get a natural 20.
So I rolled a 3, so 6.
So you rolled 3 plus your 6, so 9 plus 3. You did 12 points of damage there. Okay, that is 12 points of damage. Well shot. Led is looking pretty bloody now. He's starting to slightly feel that. Like, you go in to stab with your short sword, and he's like, you know what? This has worked the last 3 times I've been attacked. I'm going to headbutt it away. And for whatever reason, the short sword doesn't actually respond well, and just slices through his helmet and catches him right on his cheek, and it really hurts. It's a proper stinger.
Just as a point for any of rules lawyers, he doesn't mean hit dice, he actually means damage dice.
Yes.
Because they are
Whatever.
separate.
What words, numbers?
It's also Hutch, not Rowan.
You know what?
Yeah.
Lawyers, all lawyers over there, name lawyers. I'm going to edit this
That's what you
so
want
I
to be
find
here for.
perfect, okay? Either way, it is now Cled's turn, and Cled might get a better weapon, and might actually do some damage at some point. So, he is rolling for his shotgun. He is going to aim once again at Hutch and Laura, because they are his closest people. So, we'll do Hutch first. He rolled a 11.
Not even close.
I didn't think so. And for Laura, he rolled 12.
Not for me.
Cool.
Scarl's just off getting a cup of tea now. It's like, nah, I'm
Okay, so he misses wildly and is starting to. He hits his hand again, and he actually just starts jumping where the bullet wounds hit. And God damn it! God damn it now! God. Blah, blah!
I'm just
poor
seeing Elmer.
sand.
I'm just seeing Elmer Fudd now.
Yeah.
Just give it a rest. Poor sand.
Okay, and Rowan, it is your go.
Okay. I'm gonna move again. So it's 6 squares, isn't it? Like,
It is 6 squares, aka 30 feet.
there we go. Is that behind Cled or is that behind Cled?
Cled is facing. Yeah, that's behind Cled.
From behind him, can I attempt to grapple him?
You can. We will do a strength, opposing strength check.
Cool. So if I go, it's not a strength save, is it just a strength in general
Just a
check?
strength check.
Athletics. It'll be athletics.
Athletics.
It'll be. It's once again. It's like a shove attack. You treat it like a shove attack. It's opposed.
Oh, so
Athletics versus athletics or
That's
acrobatics.
fine. I get a +3 to my strength check or athletics check. So I rolled 11. What did you roll, sir?
Athletics, I rolled a natural 20.
Red is getting
You know what? We'll
fucked
call
up.
it a draw, but I'll let you win.
So Chiari just comes dashing, across the sand, scoots around Cled and just suplexes him into the sand, grappling him in place. And again, I'm just gonna, say to Cled, just stop. There's no way you're gonna win this.
So I'm gonna say that it's not strictly a grapple, but you lift him up by his armpits and lift him off the ground. Bear in mind he's only 4 foot tall.
Pick him up and just
Yeah.
Pick him up by the scruff of his neck. He's just got his legs kicking.
Yeah, he's kicking wildly like a child. Like, get back! He's no longer speaking like real words. He's just yelling profanities and sounds at this point. But that is all that you get from him. Do you want to do anything else, Rowan?
That's it. That's all I'm gonna do at the moment.
Okay, it is back to Laura.
Right. So I'm once again gonna Oh no, I'm not, because you're picking him up now, so... There's no point me imploring him to stop, because he's just shouty and sweary at this point.
Yeah, he is beyond stoppage at this moment.
Genevieve is still going to tell him, just calm down. Seeing as he's currently lifted off his own feet, I don't really feel it's fair to attack him in the same way, when your enemy's down. But I will ready Elk, ram him again, should he pick out an attack.
Okay, is that your turn?
It is. I've got no need to move away if I'm going to try and ram him. I might as well be there.
Okay, and that moves us on to Connor, aka Elena.
I'm just going to walk 30 feet back, which is putting me just outside of range, of melee range with him.
He's kicking wildly, he's waving his arms around, he's just yelling profanities and slurs left, right, and centre.
I'm just going to go for sort of something a little bit bland. I'm just going to reach down into one of my long boots, pull out a knife, and just go, well, if the spells aren't working, and I'm just going to chuck this dagger at him.
Okay, use a dagger as a projectile.
Yes, so that is a natural 17 plus 4, so 21 to hit.
That does indeed hit. Sorry, I got my numbers wrong. I went to double check. That does indeed hit. 21 hits.
So, for 3 points of piercing damage.
3 points of piercing damage.
Just sort of like, flick.
Okay, with that, he does in fact go limp.
Okay, well, that worked.
He goes limp in Diari's arms, still swearing under his breath. And out of the distance, you hear the sound of hooves and a stampede and a running of what sounds like 6, maybe 7 Rachalopses, but it is in fact only one. Skull running in from the south. He sees what you are doing to his rider, to his master, to what effectively might be his friend. He jumps up, collects Cled from Rowan's arms. Rowan is very surprised and lets go of this poor little man, in quotation marks. He falls onto the back of Skull with a thud and a clunk, and Skull takes him off into the distance, and they both disappear.
Is my dagger still in Cled?
It is still in Cled.
Okay, that's fine.
You are left on an empty beach with only the memories of the fight before you. The lake beside you is still barren from the first spell that you cast. And there is still a small crevice in the centre of where you stand.
I'm just going to turn to the rest of the party. So, arrested on day 1. Break out of prison in the night. Agree to start a rebellion. Go to opposing country and attack one of their cavaliers. I think we're doing really well at this.
We definitely tried not to fight. It seems that people just wanna have fights in this area.
This was not the trip I planned.
No, I was hoping to get away from this kind of thing.
So does this happen to you a lot then?
Not like this, no. But it used to. When people didn't like my trading.
The trading? You're a trader?
Of sorts.
Ah.
What sorts of things did you trade?
A bit of this, a bit of that. It depended on what they had at the time.
Okay.
Okay, and with that, do you all continue on your journey down the river?
I will climb off my elk because it seems a bit weird and harsh for me to be having a merry ride of my elk while everyone else is having to walk. I'll hop off now.
How is your elk feeling about everything that's gone down?
Elkish.
That well-known emotion, elkish.
He's a very sturdy, very mellow kind of elk. He just goes with me, and it take kind of not symbiotic because that sounds weird and pleasant, but he kind of takes his mood from me. So if I'm seeming quite calm, he's like, "Yep, you're calm. Things are probably okay."
An empathic link.
Kind of, yeah. That sounds better than symbiotic. I'll take that one.
I mean, it could be symbiotic. It just means you're relying on each other.
Yeah, it just makes it sound like we're going to go do a mind meld at some point, which is a
That's
bit...
true, yeah.
Which we're not. We are not that
or
close.
you've got a little like eel-like thing swimming around in your stomach.
I'm pretty sure the elk is actually just going to turn into a symbiote and cover your entire body and turn you into a venom-like creature, but instead of venom, it's elkum or something ridiculous.
To be fair, that would be really scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so you continue down the river. There's less sounds than there were because of all the shouting and fighting and thunder waving that had happened previously. So the birds, the bees, the buzzards, and everything else have scattered and left you. You then, as you continue walking, the black pup, the black mass of the Noxian town, the Noxian city, so to speak, comes into view. It's still fairly far away, but you definitely see it in the distance. And before you, the river turns slightly to the right, heads instead of north, it heads to the east. And there is a bridge. And just on the other side of the bridge, you see 3 people. I will pull up the map now. I'm assuming you all follow me when I do it. There is 3 people on the other side of the bridge. They're all facing away from you. There is 2 smaller armed guards, so to speak, one with a crossbow, one with a short sword. And they are avid listeners to what is blatantly the much bigger, much more menacing leader, so to speak. This man is 8 foot tall, towering over everyone in the vicinity. You see as you approach him, on his back, he has 2 swords equipped in a sort of cross, and 2 more attached to his side. And he's even holding 2 swords as well. So this man has 6 short swords altogether on this person. And you overhear him telling a fantastical tale of a previous battle. You don't quite hear all of it, but you hear words coming through like owlbears and monstrosities and beastly giants from another realm. You approach the bridge, and these guys are still talking. They don't hear you coming.
Before we kind of reach the bridge, I will turn to everyone and go, all right, so are we all okay? Like, with our kind of luck, we're going to possibly have another fight. We'd rather not, but we all okay for it if it does go that way?
I think so. Does anyone need healing? I don't think we took too much damage in the last fight. Everyone all okay?
I'm okay.
Press forward.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Okay, let's see what these guys do.
Okay, are you walking naturally, or...?
I think they're kind of walking kind of nonchalantly, as if they're not really a problem.
Okay.
We're just casual travellers.
Yep.
Casual travellers. We're just casual travellers.
Yeah, we've just pulled a clipboard from somewhere and we're just like, yeah, we're meant to be here, right?
Right, and with that approach, we are going to take a short 5 to 10 minute recess. So, while everyone is getting drinks and whatnot, I once again want to give a big shout out to everyone over at Dorans and Dragons. Just this week, they've released some homebrew content based around Bilgewater. This content includes, but it's not limited to, a new rogue archetype, the Tidal Trickster, some new epic creatures like the Gigalodon, and even some Bilgewater weaponry like the Rage Knife and the Serpent's Fang. All of which looks super interesting, and a lot of which I will definitely be using in the future of this campaign, so keep an ear and eye out for that. I do just want to say that they no way sponsor this podcast, but the people over there have shown me so much love and helped me so much. This is the least I can do for them. But before the break, our adventurers had just dispatched of Cled the Cavalier. After a very hard-fought battle where Cled did an impressive 2 points of damage to 2 separate beings, so bad props to him for his fortitude and his crap dice rolls, if I'm completely honest. They have now approached a bridge just before the Immortal Bastion, where they are approaching 2 armed guards, one with a crossbow, the other with a short sword, and a third, but much larger guard that they have realised now have 6 scimitars surrounding him. 2 in his hands, 1 by each side, and 2 on his back in a cross formation. They are slowly approaching the bridge. They are not sneaking. They are approaching it as casually as one might approach a supermarket. So, are you still doing that?
What was the plan?
Yeah, we're just going to drop our stuff over this bridge.
Okay, so the armed guard with a crossbow sees you first and points his crossbow at you and says, "Oi, boss! Got some visitors here." And the bigger one, the much bigger one, turns and goes, "And who do you think you are?"
We are, hoping to become friends of Noxus.
Noxus can always do with more allies, but why should I let you here?
Because somebody who helped us out of a Damacian prison directed us this way to look at... I'd like to say... Well, he wants to get revenge on them, and he wants some help, so he sent us this way to see if we could find some help, saying that Noxus would probably be the better place to start.
A rebellion?
Rebellion?
Against Damacia, not Noxus.
A rebellion against Damacia, you say?
Yes, apparently they don't like mages. Who knew?
Everybody.
Oh, well, they could have said that before I got off the boat.
The shorter one with the short sword, sort of walks up gingerly to the big one and goes, "Hey, boss! Hey! Pretty sure Lord Darkwill was talking about rebellion." And the big one smacks him away and, "Quiet you! I'll do the talking."
Actually, he's who we were told to speak to, Darkwill.
You want to speak to Lord Darkwill on your first visit to Noxus?
Yes.
Okay then.
It's not so hard, is it?
If you are who you say you are, he'll want to work with you. And it might just get me back into the good books with him.
Well, we can always, if you tell us a little about Noxus and Darkwill, we can always put in a good word when we speak to him, say how hospitable you were, and just how nice and welcoming you were, and how well you and your friends here guarded this bridge.
The short one with the crossbow hobbles back up to him, but stays out of arm's reach after seeing his friend get smacked aside and goes, Ugh, hey, Ugh, this will get you back in the good books, won't it, Ugh? Hey, we did some pretty good guarding here, right? You'll put in a good word for us as well, yeah? Ugh, you'll do it, right? Quiet, you! I shouldn't have been put on this post anyway. It's that damn advisor's fault, and you know it. Fine, you lot, follow me. I'm sick of sitting here with these two bloody bastards anyway. So he takes you through, well, he lets you across the bridge for starters, and he takes you through the large gates of Noxus, and you see that the walls are much higher than the Damacians were, and as Damacian stone is white with accents of gold, the Noxious stone walls are black as coal, as black as the night sky itself, with red accents and rims around the top and the corners of the walls. The gates are made from large sheets of metal with the Noxian symbol, the Noxian crest, on each door. He yells at the doors, "Open up! I'm coming inside!" And there's a small wait, and it's a bit awkward because the gates aren't moving, and you hear a small snicker. "My name is Og, and you will open this gate!" And with that, the gates slowly creak open, and you are entered into the Noxian stronghold. You follow Ugg, sticking close by him, and he seems to know exactly where he's going, but to you, all of these streets look exactly the same. They're all very tall walls, very black stone. There's no discerning markings, there's no signs, there's nothing. There's occasionally a faint sound of people, of a crowd, but it's very far away, or the stone is dampening the sound in some way. But Ugg seems to know where he's going. He takes you to the main grand bastion itself, an impossibly tall tower that just seems to go through and beyond the clouds into the sky. And you notice that even though it's now around midday, or very early afternoon, and the sun is high in the sky, the walls, the way that it's designed, still allow very little light to reach the street floor where you are. So you walk into the mansion and you see more black stone and more accents of red. There's a red carpet, there's red drapes, all with the Noxian crest upon it. And there's a few more guards standing in the way, but no one really questions you or Ugg. Some cower in fear, some refuse to meet his gaze, but he's walking proudly and with a strong demeanour. So, you came all the way from Demacia, did ya?
Yes. Been an eventful journey.
Technically, even further.
How are the bloody bastards over there?
Unpleasant.
You're right. Yeah, they arrested
Rude.
us as soon as we turned up.
Ha 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 ha! You convicts! Oh, I think you'll fit in well in Noxus.
Does Noxus mind magic users, or are they like the Massier and uptight and full of themselves?
Noxus is about power, above all. And power comes in many forms.
Genevieve gives Elena a look of like, ooh, this sounds good for you.
It's just this sort of like sly grin that's just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
So he then takes you to I wouldn't quite say spiral staircase, but a rotating staircase to one of the off-side rooms. And you go up quite a few steps of stairs, it takes you a few minutes. It's certainly on like the 6th floor. As you go up, you see other corridors shooting off. You hear sounds of swords hitting each other or hitting shields and clanking against each other. But nothing really eventful happens until you get to what might appear to some as the top floor, and you step aside through the corridor, and it is an incredibly long corridor here, and there's a long red carpet with torches on either side, and this is where you realise that there's no windows in the Immortal Bastion, there's torches. And so you walk along this corridor, Ugg snickering to himself. You occasionally hear him muttering like, "Damn it, Visor, this'll be my way back into the court. I'll show him. Call me a bloody conspiracy nut." And he's saying this to no one in particular until you reach another set of black metal doors, which look very similar to the ones that you went in when first entering Noxus, but on a smaller scale. Listen to me. When you're in there, let me do the talking. And when you do talk sense, and talk me up, yeah?
Of course. Sounds easy.
You! The beast has got to stay outside. Can't have filthy animals in the court.
Not is not filthy. He's a very clean boy.
Well, animal's an animal, innit?
Not and Genevieve share a look between each other that shows that he is very much more intelligent than the normal animal. And we both give him identical look of, aren't you a dick?
You got a problem with that? Then all of you can go wait outside. You stuck back on that bridge.
Right, not. You wait here.
Are we next to the door?
You are next to
Right,
the door.
it is what's-
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reach past him and just wrap my knuckles on the door.
That will be a provocative action. Would you like to continue to take it?
It depends on if he looks like he wants to start a fight.
He absolutely looks like he's ready to start a fight at any moment.
Okay, then I won't then, because I don't want to start a fight. I just want to be a dick.
So, he tells you to keep your elk outside, and you tell your elk not to stay. Oh no, you tell your elk not to stay.
Insert punctuation.
Yeah. And it's, right, like I said, no talking. And he opens again the large stone doors. And inside you see a large table with like maps and little figurines with Noxian crest on, Ionian crest on, Demacia crest, all the major cities that you've heard of. Although it's suspiciously missing both Piltover and Zorn and the crest for Bilgewater. Around the table is an assortment of men, all different shapes and sizes, so to speak. All human, obviously, but there's some that are a bit more rounder, with belly fat and, a big mustache and bits in their teeth, sort of thing. Messy hair, not really with it, not really in the room. There's one in the far corner who's napping, but the two that look most alert and most ready are at either end of the long table. There's one at the far right, furthest away from you. He has long silver hair. He looks very distinguished. He sat upright with purpose and poise. He's wearing a long leather cloak that covers himself all the way down to his ankles. He's got long silk gloves on both arms with a red chest plate that you can see and just has the Noxus crest on as well. And at the other side, sitting in a much bigger chair with his back to the left, is a very much elderly man, older than every other man in the room. He has the look of someone who has been alive for far too long and is just moments away from death from an aggressive sneeze or a bit of a prickly cough. He's got a blue tinge to his face and his lips are very pale. His eyes are incredibly white as a cloud or fresh snow. And he's got that faint aroma of cleaning product mixed with, you believe it might be blood? But it's just a combination is a bit off-putting and kind of makes you all feel a bit nauseous. As you enter, you hear the words from the final sentences being said. You hear Black Rose, you hear Spider, and that is about all you can really hear as you enter. Ugg enters the room and the doors open. The entire room falls silent and stares at you all.
Well, this is quite an entrance.
I'm just going to sort of give like a bit of like a half bow. So not like a full-on thing, but certainly like from the chest and sort of shoulders.
Seeing Ilana do this, I kind of like it'd be awkward if I didn't as well. So I'll do the kind of follow along and just kind of to fit in, just like, oh yeah, wow.
I follow suit with this, looking equally awkward.
Cyphria is just going to stand to attention with her shield.
Okay. Found these guys outside, trying to enter Noxus. They talked about Demacia, rebellion, mages. Well, our Lord Darkwill might want to listen to what they're saying. And the guy at the far right, with the long silver hair and the leathery cloak. I put you on bridge duty as punishment, but you seem to find yourself back in the court. Yeah, well, did my duty, did I? Did what was asked of me. Thought Lord Darkwill might want to speak to these people. Thought I'd bring him here myself for protection and whatnot. Yeah. Tell him, I did good, right? Yeah. And he looks at you and nods and like, yeah.
I'm just completely stumped, just staring at him, not saying anything.
On this, Tiara is going to be like, yes, he was a very good bridge guard and led us right on through and brought us here to Demacia.
The room kind of erupts with laughter at that.
I was going to say, we're in Noxus, aren't we?
Yeah.
See, names are hard. And the room erupts. The room erupts with laughter at that. Even the silver-haired man gives a crooked smile. But it is Ugg staring at you, who has a flash of anger across his eyes, and Sharkle is pleading with you all come across his face just as a blink, as a moment. So many emotion betrayed by such a beefy man. You say they're from Demacia? This quietens the room. Everybody stops laughing and they all turn to the pale elderly man at the other end of the table. Yes, Lord Darkwill. That's what they say. But Demacia talked about a rebellion there. Ah, your rebellion talking, eh? Isn't that what got you sent away in the first place, Ugg? Well, yes, my lord. But you see, I have proof now. These people, they can back up my story. There's rebellions happening. And the silver-haired, leather cloak-wearing man, didn't you say that the rebellion was inside Noxus, not Demacia? Well, yeah, but still rebellion, so yeah. And the man you now know to be Lord Darkwill speaks up again. All this talk of rebellion, and yet the whole city loves me, right? And he looks at the rest of the room and they're all going, oh, yes, my lord, yes. Of course they do, yes. Oh, everyone loves you, Lord Darkwill. Well then, send these people to our front lines and have them fight in our army or something, I don't know. Send them to Ionia. Have them invade there. It worked so well last time. Right, Ugg? And again, the room is silent.
I think at this point I'm going to pipe up and just be like, right, so, we're not from Demacia, but we did get captured by them and put a hole in their prison to escape, along with somebody called Silas, who pointed us to speak to you to look at setting up a rebellion or basically taking over Demacia for the good of mages. And I'm saying that directly to Darkwill.
Lord Darkwill. Yeah.
Yeah.
The room falls silent once again, and most of the room look from you to Lord Darkwill, waiting to see how he responds. And as he's about to open his mouth and speak, the silver-haired, leathery cloak man goes, Lord Darkwill, if I may, I think I have better uses for these refugees, and if you would allow me to be in charge of their sentence, their punishment, I think maybe the fighting pits, or barely to train our guards. I think that would be a better use for them. Oh,
great, one prison to another.
Very well, Jericho. Do with them as you wish. Jericho stands up, walks towards you. I'll take them from here, Ugg. And Ugg is left furious and fuming. You can almost see the smoke coming out of his head with how angry he is. You can see he wants to fight, wants to just smash Jericho's head against the ground, but he also knows it's not the place. So,
can I just make an insight check on Swain, because we know it is. I just want to kind of see what his general attitude towards us is.
Okay, roll a check.
Insight, which is... It's not going to help. That is a 5 minus 1.
You do not believe that he wishes to cause you harm.
Okay, that's fine.
Follow me and remain quiet, he says to all of you. As you walk out the door, do you choose to follow him?
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Are we leaving?
Nod so as not to speak and remain quiet.
Are we leaving the way we came?
Through the same stone door, yes.
Okay, I will collect Not on the way out.
As Jericho, aka Swain, we'll call him Swain from now on, sees the elk, he nods at it out of respect and continues walking down the stairs.
Oh.
He goes down the stairs and go through all the same corridors again, and there's a lot of walking, and if you had a Fitbit, you'd reach in 10,000 steps by now. And he leads you out, and he says, listen, I have use for you, but we cannot talk here. You must wait until morning. And he throws each of you a coin purse. Mingle in with the Noxus, and stay at the inn in the centre of town. You'll see it. It's the only one with a black rose symbol on the door. I shall find you.
Just because we're all new here, anything that we should avoid doing to bring attention to ourselves?
My advice is to don't try and not draw attention to yourself. Everyone in Noxus doing their best to stand out.
Okay, understood. I can do that.
I understand you need people for your fight against Demacia.
Yes.
Noxus is in no position to be invading such a great city, and yes, Demacia is a great city. But I have plans, and soon we may well be. But I need your help. Do we have a deal for the time?
You help us, we help you. Seems relatively okay to me, but I don't speak for the group.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like a plan.
Fine. And I'll hit my sword against my shield.
And not a word of this to anybody you do not know who you can trust. Least of all, Darkwill and Ugg. And he spits at the floor as he mentions that name.
Okay.
Okay.
He turns with a swish of his cloak and walks away down the street. And with that, we shall end tonight's session. The break was not strictly in the centre, but I do believe that is a fair enough place to leave it.
Yeah.
Just a heads up to my players, next session will be more of a casual session. You'll be out around Noxus, so try and think of some things that you might want to do. There'll be a market, there'll be some taverns, there'll be some speakers and protests, so just think about what sort of things you might want to do in the city. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for joining us here today. So mad props to my players. So that is the end. We will have to pick up where we left off next week and find out how our adventurers get on. Will they continue their deal with Swain? Will they turn on him and help Lord Darkwill? Or will Cled the Cavalier finally hit somebody for more than 1 damage? We will have to wait and find out. But for now, I say thank you to Laura, Connor, Hutch, and Rowan for playing such fantastic players. And an even bigger thank you to you, the listeners, for joining us on our journey across Runeterra.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye now.
Bye-bye now.